Good morning.
Just about.
Could you sign here, please? Have a nice day.
This is my story.
I'm divorced.
Very happily so.
Hello, I'm Elrini from the Fan Carpet. I am here at the Picture House Central covering the premiere of The Sense of an Ending. First of all, what attracted you to this part?
I read the book before I read the script, and then I read the script, and they're both wonderful and very exciting, and the character, right? I recognise the character of Tony Webster. I much the same age, the same background, same all-boys school, and same sort of cultural background, and I recognised the man, and I thought, I understand his mistakes, I understand his vulnerability, I understand his rudeness, and I understand his, kind-heartedness as well. So there's a complicated man, and I love the challenge of playing him and getting it across. I was excited.
The story, the characters, the character, and it was a beautiful, beautiful script. I'd read the book before, I loved the book, so there was a whole package that worked. I mean, potentially, and then you have to film it, but it was a beautiful package to begin with.
It's just, I had read the book 2 years prior to reading the script, and I absolutely loved the book. So when I found out that this was an adaptation of that book, I think I just jumped at the opportunity to be able to be part of it, because it's such it's an incredible book, and Julian Barnes is just an incredible writer. So I think that was the biggest appeal.
Well, I love the novel, and I also loved the adaptation that Nick Payne had done. It was very ingenious and very brave. And what I loved both about the novel and the script was that it's really about the toll that life takes on us and why we do this anyway. And it really spoke to me. It really spoke to me, that thought. It's a very profound thought, and it's something that, I shared a room with my granddad growing up, the first 18 years of my life and the last 18 of his. So I got to see that question in the air a lot. And, it was really personal to me, that question.
Well, we were working with the BBC, and it was a brilliant book. I'm just hearing my co-producer here. But it was everything he's saying. It was, lots of brilliant universal, lots of great universal themes in the book that felt like it could translate to film brilliantly, but also not a straightforward adaptation. I think it's very literally the book, and so we're trying to bring it out dramatically. It was a challenge, but hopefully one that was successful. I don't know.
It's an incredibly powerful and beautiful book. It's a very elusive book, a difficult book to pin down exactly what the heart of the story is. It has so many things going on. But it's a very successful book about memory and desire and the pain that can haunt you from the past, and that finding out about what really matters in your life, what really signifies. And it's also a story about first love and emotion, and how you build your present life on your past life. So it's about lots and lots of different things, but in a way it's a kind of emotional thriller. It's about a man who has to face a secret from his past life and come to terms with it and deal with it.
What was the best thing that you got from the film?
I mean, just working with such an amazing cast, being around so many, experienced and weighty actors. I think that was such an honour to be able to work alongside those kind of people. Definitely.
I don't really think like that. I can't answer that. I've never been able to answer that. When someone asks me, I can't.
So I guess it's everything, the whole thing, maybe.
I don't think what I'm doing. I do it. So I'm not thinking, oh gosh, that was great. It's always I don't know. I'm always happy when the shot is finished and we've got it, and then I forget about it.
Well, I felt like she really got the essence of who this person was, and that's important. About grabbing on to an aspect of that person that's true, because these characters are not just characters; they're much loved because they are people. I really feel like when we love a novel and we love the characters in it, they really are sort of flesh and blood, and they're parts of our lives. And Freya always had this wonderful quality of keeping a secret. and she was very good at it. And Billy was really recognized the character as someone who was a charlatan and a poser. And as we all are when we are young, you know, we don't know who we are, and we are trying to figure it out. So we are pretending a lot, and Billy was wonderful at that.
What was the most difficult part that you had to play in the actual film?
I suppose being part of the antenatal class with when I'm there with my daughter, played by Michelle Dockery, and she's in a real antenatal class with a lot of heavily pregnant women and a real midwife telling us what to do and how to behave, and I found that quite challenging.
Why is that? Because the other women were pregnant?
Well, yeah, yes, and how to be. It's not an experience I've ever had. So I was meant to feel awkward, and I did.
What do you look for actors when you're casting for a project?
Well, you know, how apt they are for a part, really, and how they can bring to it something that no one else can. Like, only Jim could play this part because, you know, he's so endearing, and this character is hard to like, and Jim brings such a humanity to it. And same with Emily Mortimer, she's so soulful, and she has so much empathy for her characters, and so does Charlotte, and Harriet is such a force of nature, so she was right for that part, you know, of Margaret.
Young actors, what do you do? Do you give them a chance, and what do they have to prove to you that they're good enough?
Well, no, they don't have to prove anything to me. I'm just a mere, you know, human being. But it was really special to work with Billy Howell in this, and Joe Alwyn and Jack Loxton and Tim Innes and Freya Mavor. They're just wonderful actors, you know, and I hope I get another excuse to collaborate with them.
If you were not an actor, what would you like to be?
I don't know. I'd probably be some sort of artist or writer or something creative, I'd imagine.
Did you have a saying when you had to pick actors?
Yes, as a producer, you're very much involved in the casting. You do that together with the director, so we work very much on that together, yes. And we were delighted to get the actors that we got. Yes, it was really fantastic, yeah.
I think me, just by looking at them, I can see, obviously, you have an Oscar-winning actor there.
They look really good together. I've been lucky enough, another film I should mention, I'm lucky enough to work on the film Iris, in which Jim Broadbent won an Oscar for. When I was at the BBC, I was executive producer of that. That was another really favourite film of mine, so yes, it was really great.
What is next for you?
We're working on a series called Woman in White, based on the novel by Wilkie Collins for the BBC and international television, so that's a really exciting project too. What's
the best advice you can give to other young actors? Because you've done amazingly, and you know, you've done so well, and you're so young.
I think the best advice is I don't know if I'm allowed to swear in this, but not to, I don't know, not to buy into any of the pressure or negativity or bullshit that you kind of get fed a lot as young actors. And there's a lot of pressure to be one thing or another, but I think if you work hard and you're concentrated on telling stories and immersing yourselves in characters rather than any other aspect, I think it's the work, and it's how willing you are to kind of lose yourself in work that comes through and that matters the most.
What has been the favourite thing you've done so far in your own career?
In my own career, I've done lots of things I've loved doing. I mean, I loved working on the film Mandela with Idris Elba. When I was at the BBC, I loved doing Billy Elliot. I've worked on lots of films. I've actually loved lots of television stuff. We're doing a great television piece now called Woman in White. I was lucky enough to work at the BBC over many, many films over many years. So those are just some of the highlights of you know, films that I've just been lucky enough to work on, actually. And yeah, but this one I think is quite special because it doesn't easily define itself as what kind of film it is. It's quite open-ended, and people come to the book with all different points of view and take away from the book all different kind of perspectives, and they take different things from it. But what you've got at his heart is this man who has a sort of his past life thrust upon him when this letter arrives on the doorstep and opens up a whole world from his past which sort of threatens to overwhelm his present. But it also forces him to come to terms with what most matters in his life, and in some ways readjust his world.
What matters in his life the most then?
Well, I think he comes to understand about relationships and love and how that is important, and this is a bit glib, this, because when you read the book or see the film, it's not simplistic like that. But he comes to learn about the need for connecting in a way, and that he's lived somewhat in his own kind of bubble. It's not that he's exactly easily changed by it, because it's complicated, but there's lots and lots of changes that he goes through. And a very, very powerful and emotional performance from Jim Broadbent, all the wonderful cast, Charlotte Rampling, Harriet Walter, Joe Orwin, Billy Howell, all giving great performances. Emily Mortimer is a very witty, sharp performance, and I think we're lucky enough to get a great combination of cast together to work on this film, and hopefully the audience will really enjoy it. But it's not exactly an easy film to pin down and, you know, give a single sentence about what it's about.
I don't know. I've had such a good time. So many good things. I suppose something like Moulin Rouge was a gas to be in a musical, charging around, singing and dancing, which is not something I've done much of in my career at all. So I'll always remember that at some point in my career I had a chance to do that.
What's next for you?
I don't know. I'm not telling.
I'm sure there are loads of big things.
No, I'm going slow. I want to be quiet now. I've been doing some stuff. I'm quiet now.
Well, I just directed a movie called Our Souls at Night with Robert Redford and Jane Fonda, and I'm editing it right now. So that should be out later this year, I hope.
And what's next for you now?
Well, I'm actually now working with Ridley Scott, and we're doing several films. There's a film called The Aftermath with Keira Knightley that's going to come out next year, and we just did Taboo with Tom Hardy, and then we'll do another series of that. But yeah, it's all you never know what's going to happen. You spend years developing these shows, and some happen and some don't. But yeah, lots going on.
Thanks for watching The Fan Carpet. Remember to follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, and we will have more for you next time.
And it could flow backwards to remind us that our life is a story we have told to ourselves. And this is my story.
Thank you for watching The Fan Carpet. If you like this video, be sure to click that thumbs up button at the bottom of your screen. And also be sure to subscribe to the Fan Carpet YouTube channels. They're absolutely free and so much fun too. Be sure to check out the official website, thefancarpet.com. Also, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to stay up to date with reviews, competitions, the latest news, and so much more.